smear blood everywhere, stain everything. I don't deserve nice things. Just make it gross. Make the place stink. Because I'm a dirty, rotten boy. I drowned the whole entire world, and there were so many babies. Hey guys, welcome to Joel Reads Bible. I'm Joel. I read Bible. Why? Why? Sometimes I stare in the mirror and I go, why? Why are you doing this to yourself? Sorry, that was a little bit of a walk-in. Why? Why are you reading? It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but I'll work on it, okay? When we get to Revelation or Revelations, no one knows what it's called. I will do a perfect Christopher Walken, okay? But anyway, we're here at chapter 2, hoping it'll be a little bit less bloody and maybe a little bit less boring. It's interesting how boring blood can be. I love that. That's a lot of B's. That's a lot of great alliteration. It's baffling how boring blood can be, honestly. So Yahweh loves blood. He's such a huge fan. He wants it to be on everything. He loves the smell of burning flesh. He just wants things dead for him, for atonement. Because if you don't kill stuff, how's he going to know you're sorry? So we're going to see if the blood continues. Because, as Paul says, there can be no forgiveness of sin without the shedding of blood, I suppose. So let's see if that continues here in Leviticus chapter 2. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, I don't know what's wrong with you. Is it because you hate God's word? Is that what it is? You don't have to believe in it to subscribe, by the way. Also, you should be liking every single video, and just go back if you haven't liked them. Just go back, like, and comment on them. Look, watch every single video. Blow every single video up. It'd be nice if this is crazy maybe, but if every single video were to get 6 trillion views, that'd be nice for me. If we could just make that happen real quick, that'd be just go back Genesis, Exodus, all of them, all the chapters. That'd be nice. So thanks. If you could do your part and just watch them, like them, and comment on them. That's all. If you can't, I understand. All right, so here we are at Leviticus chapter 2. When anyone offers an offering of a meal offering to Yahweh, a meal offering, this is new, his offering shall be fine flour. Is the meal like cornmeal, maybe wheat meal? Is that a thing? Or is Yahweh hungry? Is he getting peckish? Is he like, all this meat, fine, but we're burning it to smithereens. I like the smell of the burning flesh. I don't really want to eat it. What I love is bread. I love bread. I'm such a huge fan of, not entirely bread, just like flour. Just like a bunch of fine flour, and he shall pour oil on it and put frankincense on it. Is frankincense edible? He's so sensitive to smells, by the way. He's not sensitive to smells. He loves them. He's like, overwhelm me with all of the scents, please. I love it. I absolutely love it. I do probably the best impression of Yahweh you're ever going to see. It's the most realistic, because they're always like, oh, big man in the clouds. That's not Yahweh. He's like, can you guys do a meal offering for me? I'm starving. If you want to do a meal offering, I'm not going to say no. He shall bring it to Aaron's sons, the priests. He shall take his handful of its fine flour and of its oil with all its frankincense, and the priest shall burn its memorial on the altar, an offering made by fire of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. He doesn't want to eat at all. He just wants to burn things that smell nice to him. Yahweh, you're wasting everything. You're a real waster. Man, why is there so much starvation in the world? Oh, because for the first part of the world times, they killed everything and burned all the flour. Everything edible, they basically destroyed it for the god, hoping that he'd give them more. And you know what he did? He gave them an arid desert. Aw, man, he made it actually difficult to grow things. He did another famine. That which is left of the meal offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. They need to eat. It is the most holy part of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. It's the most holy part. The most holy part is the part that people eat. Wouldn't the most holy part be the part that's set apart for Yahweh, that's burned in like a refining fire or something like that? I don't know when we'll get that idea, but it's the most holy? Why? What? Like, what does it mean? It's the most set apart? Not really. It's the most, they're going to eat it. Like, it's in them. It's part of them. This part makes me think that this is real. If people wrote this, wouldn't they make the sacrifice a little bit more, I don't know, edible? Like right now, it's a handful of fine flour. Like you get a bunch of flour, some oil poured on it, and some frankincense. I don't know. I just feel like this is what Yahweh would think is human food. He's like, don't you guys eat just like raw flour with some oil on it and some perfume? Don't you guys, isn't that just what you guys eat? And nope. And no yeast. No yeast. And everyone's like, no, we, not typically. Typically, one, we used to love yeast, but whatever, that's fine. You don't like it for whatever reason, you nut. Secondly, no, we actually bake it. We actually make it into bread. So yeah, you don't know anything about human food, Yahweh. Yahweh's not a foodie. When you offer an offering of a meal offering baked in the oven, now we're talking. It shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. See, this is Yahweh. He has really bad taste, and he's doing it, I would assume, to mess with Aaron and his sons. He's like, I'm going to make it seem like this priest class is special. They don't have to do any other work other than, sprinkle blood and be in a sickeningly be in a disgusting smelling place for most of the time, and risk death just in case there's some sort of guilt. They'll have the rope around their head or whatever that means. And they'll have to eat some of the most boring crap I can possibly conjure. Stupid little wafers without yeast? Checkmate, lazy bones. You thought you were getting away with murder. Turns out you're living a horrible life as a priest. Congratulations, Levites. If your offering is a meal offering made on a griddle, it's a pancake. It shall be of unleavened fine flour mixed with oil. Well, I'm going to think of it as a pancake, so they actually start sounding good. You shall get syrup of the maple tree found in Canada. Now, of course, Yahweh knows about Canada, by the way, because he's timeless, and he knows about syrup. I would love for him to put somewhere in there. And there's something called sap you can get out of a tree, explain that. Because earlier, you'll remember in Genesis, he explained that you can make animals have stripes if they drink water in front of certain logs or with logs that are soaking in water. So he taught them that truth about nature and how things work. You would think that he might put in there something useful, like, by the way, you want to have a sweet, sweet treat? Well, this is how you make syrup. You shall cut it in pieces and pour oil on it. It is a meal offering, we know. If your offering is a meal offering of the pan, I love that there's variety for the priests. It shall be made of fine flour with oil. They're all the same, though. Why did I say variety? It's just the way you're going to bake it, or maybe you're going to put it on a griddle. Maybe you'll put it in the pan, which is a lot like a griddle, but it's always just flour and oil, the most dull thing you can imagine. You shall bring the meal offering that is made of these things to Yahweh. It shall be presented to the priest, and he shall bring it to the altar. The priest shall take from the meal offering its memorial, and shall burn it on the altar, an offering made by fire of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. That which is left of the meal offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is the most holy part of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. They're like, it's very holy, and we can't wait to eat that. Wish it was part of a ram, but yeah, we'll certainly eat some of the flour, the plain flour that is held loosely together by some oil without any hint of yeast to fluff it up or to make it at all edible. So thank you. And Yahweh will remember it because it's a memorial. We're burning the memorial of what are we memorializing? The flour? Is that what it is? By the way, guys, this is a meal offering. This is an offering that is not blood. So we really should be happy. I'm making these jokes, but if Yahweh, if you're listening, thank you for not just requiring copious amounts of disgusting blood being sprinkled and poured and dribbled on the side of an altar. Thank you for just being happy with a little bit of flour and oil. Finally, we get something a little tiny bit more sensible. No meal offering which you shall offer to Yahweh shall be made with yeast, for you shall burn no yeast, nor any honey as an offering made by fire to Yahweh. Nothing good. I don't want nothing good. It feels like Yahweh hates himself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want anything good. We know that honey's good because we've heard that Canaan is a land flowing with milk and honey. So biblically speaking, that's an attractive thing. We know that it's good. We don't know that yeast is ever good, but you and I have had bread, right? We've had fluffy bread, right? You know what makes it good? Yeah. And so Yahweh is sitting there going, give me offerings, but make them kind of gross. You know what I mean? Like, make them garbage. I want trash. I want you to give me heaps of animal fat and skin and pieces. Smear blood everywhere. Stain everything. I don't deserve nice things. Just make it gross. Make the place stink because I'm a dirty, rotten boy. I drowned the whole entire world, and there were so many babies. So I need you to make me the shittiest bread, tasteless wafers. I need you to make the most plain crap in a pan or a griddle or bake it. But don't give me yeast. I don't deserve yeast, and I don't deserve honey. I don't deserve anything sweet. I don't deserve anything good. Yeah. Oh, that's a pleasing aroma. The boring smell of some flour on fire. I love it because it's all I deserve. I'm such a piece of garbage. If that's what's going on here, I applaud Yahweh because finally he's self-aware. And I'm proud of him for that. I want to say, Yahweh, if that's what's going on here, I'm proud of you for that. Now, if you could just hold on to that humility, stop being so jealous. You know what I mean? As an offering of first fruits, you shall offer them to Yahweh, but they shall not rise up as a pleasant aroma on the altar. Every offering of your meal offering you shall season with salt. You shall not allow the salt of the covenant of your God to be lacking from your meal offering. Okay, so we need to add salt. Maybe I'm wrong. Yahweh keeps surprising me. He's like, I'm not worthy, but can you put some salt on it? Like, I know I said no yeast and I don't want any honey, but I'm not really a sweet tooth. Can you put some salt on it? At least I like savory. I would like something with a little bit of flavor. If you wouldn't mind putting some salt on it. With all your offerings, you shall offer salt. If you offer a meal offering of first fruits to Yahweh. You shall offer for the meal offering of your first fruits fresh heads of grain, parched with fire and crushed. You shall put oil on it and lay frankincense on it. It's a meal offering. It's like I feel like at this point, if people are reading, it's a meal offering. Everyone's just saying it together. We know it's a meal. We know it's a meal offering. Yes, we get it. The priest shall burn its memorial part of its crushed grain and parts of its oil, along with all of its frankincense. It is an offering made by fire to Yahweh. Guys, that is that. Okay, so great. Now we know that there's many ways to sacrifice to Yahweh. Some of it's bloody and disgusting, and some of it's just boring and flowery. And that's just great, because it would be a little bit disconcerting if it was all blood, because it's like, how much blood? Like, where are all the ashes going? You know what I mean? Like, it's just too much stuff. Could they go out in the desert and like test the sand for like gallons and gallons and gallons of dirty old blood? Because I feel like if this is true, that's what they would find if they can even test for blood. Can you test sand for blood? Look, I'm not a scientist. You probably have guessed that by now. But the good news is you don't have to care about science to find this book to be nonsense. So don't worry about that for a second. Anyway, thanks for joining me. It was really, really fun. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and like the video. And we'll see you next time for Leviticus chapter 3. Bye-bye.